Ultimaker Cura is one of the most popular 3D slicing software that is out for 3D printers. It comes included in tons and tons of out-of-the-box printers, so most people who are into the hobby have definitely used it before. It has tons of options to allow you to adjust the speed, the quality, and the appearance of all your 3D models. But one of the best qualities about Cura is that it allows extensions to be made by third parties. Today's video is going to be pretty simple and pretty quick. It's going to go over my favorite Cura plugin that I found so far. Are you tired of your print ending up like this too? Almost finished and then a piece breaks loose. Let's jump over here directly into Cura, and I've already got this little Flexi Shark model pulled up. And if you've ever tried to make one of these Flexi models or just anything with small contact patches to the build plate, you can see here all the little small areas. I've always had trouble, even with a PEI build plate, actually getting these to stick for the final print. It'll be 70-80% done, and one of these little sections will break loose from the print bed and just ruin the entire print. So today we're going to go over an extension I found, and it has been amazing and basically life-changing ever since I found it. If you've never installed an extension on Cura before, it's actually really super easy. Just go to Marketplace, and the one we're looking for is just type in tab, and it's this tab anti-warping 1.4. Honestly, the tab plus anti-warping, I've not tried it. It may honestly work better too. You can see it's, obviously with the anti-warping, it's designed to keep prints from curling up on the edges, but what I've used it more for is to improve adhesion. And for me, it's much easier, like much easier to remove than a brim is. So I just find it as a better option overall. It's probably not quite as sturdy as a brim, but if you need something between, no bed adhesion and a brim, then these anti-warping tabs are pretty amazing. So if you don't have it installed already, you just would have the install button here. Just click that and it'll load right up. And then once you have a model on your build plate in Cura, you just click the model and you'll notice you have this extra tab down here. And that's what this is. If you click on the anti-warping tab, you can change your size, change the XY distance from the model. Right now it's 0.16, that works well for me. And how thick of a tab you want, I've always left that on 1. But just with that selected, you can click on your model, make sure that's selected, and you can just click on your model in the trouble areas, like just towards the end here, and you see it just puts that little dot. So this back fin, maybe this little back section right here. And I'm just going to do a real quick slice, but just to show you what it does, it adds basically a brim, but it's not all the way connected to the model, so that gives you a much easier time getting it off the model. It just usually pulls right off instead of having to trim it or to use a deburring tool to get it off. This just is so much easier, and you can see here if I hit preview what it does. It just makes the little just a little indentation here, and you can see there's actually a small gap between the actual model itself, and that's what it's close enough to where it won't let that model move, but it's far enough away that it pulls right off. And you can get really crazy with these and it still pulls off easily. I've actually got a video in just a second, but if I just go through here and click all over the place, I want these things everywhere, basically making it a brim. Even go to the other side here. It doesn't use a lot of filament since it's just one layer, and this basically guarantees you're not going to have any trouble with the items coming off the build plate mid print. You can see this covers up a whole ton of space here. I'm going to slice this and then take a look at that, and you can see it barely changed the time and weight at all. We preview this now and you can see how much it does there. This is on the first layer here, and it will go in the cracks. Again, it's easy. You can see this little section here, how it does around tight areas to make sure it's easy to pull off. It works almost like a support, but in the X and Y axes instead of the Z axis, like on a, as it goes up vertically. If you did a brim that would do similar to this, let's take a look. Okay, so I've just cleared the build plate and pulled the shark back up. I'm going to go instead to build plate adhesion and change that from a skirt to a brim and slice it this way. same amount of time, same amount of filament as a brim. But you can see these have always been super hard for me to, especially with these flexible models, to get off these little small areas. And that is because the brim basically, you know, forms right with the bottom layer of your model. The tabs we just added with the extension give you a little bit of separation to pull them off, but it still has the same overall effect as having a brim. Take a look at the shark that I just printed from Flexi Factory. You can see that even though basically the entire bottom is covered with these tabs, it just pulls right off. All the joints work much better than if I had used a brim, and I'm extremely happy with the results. Okay guys, I hope you liked the video, and I hope you find tabs as helpful as I have in your 3D prints. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up on your way out, and we'll see you in the next video.